We're back as we head towards 3. Jim in North Bergen. What's up, Jim?
Hey, Mike.
Yes.
So I know they're cleaning house, new coach, new GM. I'd like to know, one, whether or not they choose now at this point, since they're looking at maybe, what is it, maybe a 5-year. I don't know how long. I don't know how long it's going to take to rebuild, but I know
year.
A year.
Yeah, it could take a year. In this league, you can do it in 1 year. As long as you hit on the quarterback, you do it in 1 year.
Do they pay? Or
they hit the quarterback, or if they keep the quarterback, they can do it in 1 year. They could win next year.
Wow, but I thought they needed a whole new offensive line.
They need an offensive line, but you know what? They can put 2 guys on that line, keep 3 guys, and be good next year. They could be good. They could be a division win next year with Eli and Beckham and those guys. Absolutely. They won 11 games last year. You look at the teams this year that were nowhere last year. What did New Orleans win last year? 6 games? I mean, it changes. What did the Rams win last year? 6 games? 7 games? It changes year to year. Butch in East Meadow, what's up, Butch?
Hey, Mike, just want to say I'm looking forward to the Tiller Center tomorrow. I'll be there tomorrow night.
It's going to be a good show. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yesterday's comments about the Giants and the 49er game,
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't agree more with you, because I was trying to watch that game, and as it became unwatchable, I was doing different things, and finally I heard one thing that you had brought up. Their punter for the 49ers, who's probably one of the most overworked punters probably in the league up until that game, he didn't touch that ball until there was 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Which is insane. Later that night, Denver, which had, just an example, given up 50 points the week before to the Eagles, made Tom Brady punt 3 plays into the game. Made him punt 3 plays into the game.
And the facts that you brought up yesterday's show about the lack of scoring on the 49ers in the first quarter, I think it was like 4
points for the half. They were averaging 4 points for the half.
So just for the fact that the only one that in that outcome of that game that was happy was that punter, because he got a break. He's probably been punting his leg off.
The quarterback had been hit 50 plus times in his first 5 starts, the most in history of the league. He replaced Luck as being hit the most in his first 5 starts any player ever played. He had been sacked 14 times in the last 3 games. The Giants didn't get a sack. They hit him. They touched him twice. They never sacked him. Peter in Connecticut. What's up, Peter? Yes,
Michael.
Peter. Yes, Peter. Go ahead.
I just want to wish you the very best in your future projects. Been listening from day one.
Thank you.
Just want to make a point on the Jets. Not sure where the Jets will finish this year, but I really think they're developing a nice pool of players on defense. What do you think about that?
The Jets are developing a defense. They definitely are. They have some leaders that are growing. They have some kids that are growing. They are building the infrastructure. I think the Jet plan is right on schedule. The one thing, though, that has to happen is they have to land the quarterback or it will stall. That is the one key. I think McCagnon knows what he's doing, and I think he's got a plan. I think he's a sound football guy. I've talked to McCagnon enough. I'm telling you, I've talked to him off the air. I know what his plan is. It's working. The one thing he did, if you want to get on him, is he fell in love with Hackenberg, and he's probably wrong. So he lost at 2, and if you want to kill him for that, go ahead. But that's not going to derail his plan. He has a definitive plan. And your team, from a personnel standpoint and a configuration standpoint, an infrastructure standpoint, is in good hands. But they have got to land. They have to get a game-breaking offensive player at wide receiver. They have got to get the quarterback. And then they will need another corner, and they will need probably one more lineman, although they have a couple of really good ones. They might not need one more. They might. They're going to be good. They're going to be good. They're going to be okay, but they got to find a quarterback. Bob and Edison, what's up, Bob?
Good afternoon, Mike. How you doing?
Good.
Listen, I want to steal some thunder. You know, I am so anti-McCagnon, and I know you just propped him up.
You're wrong. You're wrong.
Mike, this is year 3.
That's fine.
He doesn't get a pass for the first 2 years.
Sure he does.
How?
Because
What
it
has
took
he
him
done?
a year. It took him a year to. He had to take a year to break it down. He couldn't break it down the first year. It wasn't.
Why not? He was new, and Vance was new.
It wasn't built to break down. Then you had too many veteran players on the roster. They couldn't get rid of them all at once.
Mike.
It took them a year to break the team down. Relax. Listen, you want to know that your team is headed in the right direction, and if you got a guy who's got a plan and understands what he's doing, then you're in okay hands. This Jet team, I'm telling you, is in okay hands. The guy knows what he's doing. I'm telling you, he knows what he's doing. This guy had a long history in the league. He was handpicked by guys who know what they're talking about. He knows what he's doing.
He inherited Geno Smith, so we know what happened. He got punched out, so we're stuck with Fitzpatrick.
Listen, you're looking at the small term right now. You are in a very good place with this franchise. You're building a very sound defense for years to come. Do you know there are guys in the league talking about how they think this has the look of the Seattle defense when it first started? He's built it. He's got monster safeties. They are the most important guys to find right now in the way modern defenses are built. This guy knows what he's doing. I'm telling you, but he's got to land the quarterback. Hackenberg is not the quarterback.
Understood. No doubt.
And he's a zillion dollars under the cap.
Mike, 3 years ago we had Richardson, Wilkerson, and Leonard Williams. Supposedly then we had the monster defense.
You didn't. Okay, you believed in guys who got old like Revis. You believed in them, and they came up and they did nothing for you. The second time around, they did nothing for you.
I mean, it's like they're competitive now, and we want to hold a parade for them.
No, but what you don't see is that it's an infrastructure you can grow with and build on. They're all kids. That you can have that defense in place for years. It can be in place for years. That Seattle defense has been in place now for years and years. You can have this in place. The only thing you can get on him about, and it's fair, is Hackenberg. It was a wasted pick in my mind. He liked him. He took a flyer on it, too. He believed in the kid. He's wrong. He's going to be wrong about Hackenberg. That's all there is to it. And you know what? Everybody has a blind spot on a player. There's no guy you will ever find in personnel who doesn't have a blind spot on a player. So if that's the worst thing that happens, it's not bad. You're a zillion dollars under the cap, but you've got to land a quarterback. That is the key.
Well, he better show the guts, the same as the Eagles GM, because the Eagles GM believed in Wentz. And the Jets aren't going to be drafting 1, 2, or 3.
Again, listen, you don't know where he's coming from, okay? A lot of times it doesn't have to come from 1, 2, and 3. You could be more creative than that. There's more quarterbacks than that. You just have to be the right guy. A lot of guys didn't like Wentz. And the guy, you know what? They're going to be wrong. It happens. It happens a lot on quarterbacks. So my point is, I see a structure in place. I see something being built that has a plan. What you don't want is a guy taking one step forward, one step back. Signing a kid, signing a veteran guy, bringing in the wrong veteran guy, wasting money here, wasting picks here, chasing every different alternative. They're not doing that. They decided they were building it this way. They were building it that way. We're going to get some young, hungry guys. We're going to build it out, and then we're going to go get the players we need. And that's where you are. And I'm telling you, it's being built like it could last. But you've got to find the quarterback, because without him, it doesn't work. And I don't think he's on the roster. Pat in New Jersey, what's up, Pat?
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Good.
I just wanted to say, it's probably the last time I was able to talk to you. It's been a long time. I listened to you my whole life, and whatever you go forward doing, hopefully I can hear you something.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Pat. Thank you very much.
I could agree with you more about the Jets. I think McCagnon definitely needed a year to tear the team apart. A lot of bad contracts. Takes more than a year to do it. So you got to give him a break there.
And you had two general managers who were hired by the Jets to go out and find this guy and go out and bring the guy to him. These were two guys who both built Super Bowl championship teams, and they both picked the same guy for the Jets. This guy is a football guy. He's a sound, no nonsense. He wants no attention. He just wants to win. And that's the kind of guy you want running your organization, who's going to let the stars be stars, who doesn't want the attention, just wants to go run the organization the way he wants to run it. That's what you're looking for. And and they went out. Hey, I know guys who said, how can a guy draft safeties on the first 2 rounds? You know what? The safety has become an intricate part of any modern defense. He went out and found 2 studs at safety.
Yeah, Mike, what do you think of Kirk Cousins? I think the Jets, honestly, I'm tired of
I'm not as high on him as, you know what? He plays better than I think he is. That's what I will tell you. When I look at him, there's things I don't like, but I always look how productive he is. He gets his team in the end zone. So I cannot knock the guy. He's better than I think he is, but he's not my favorite quarterback. I don't love him, but I got to admit, he's very productive. Because, you know what? The idea is to score touchdowns. And if you score touchdowns, that's what quarterback's supposed to do. And that's what he does. He scores touchdowns. Cousins scores touchdowns. One knock I have on Cousins is last year, with the playoffs on the line, he couldn't drive the ball against the Giants when the Giants, and that just shows you where the Giants were last year. Last year in a game they didn't even have to win. They didn't let Cousins get in the end zone and get to the playoffs. And I thought Cousins should have been able to drive them for a touchdown last year. It really bothered me that he couldn't do it in that game. Really bothered me. Because I thought, if I'm going to have a guy I'm going to pay all this money to, I got to have him be able to get me in the end zone when I need it. I'm paying this guy a fortune. In the big game is when I want him to show up. You see, I want quarterbacks to show up in the big game. That's when I want to see him play. I don't need him when it's 45-0 or 45-10. He had another touchdown. All right, that's fine. That's great. That's fine. Great if he's your fantasy quarterback. That's not about the real world and the NFL. I need the guy to be there when I need him. When I'm down 4 and it's a windy day and, I'm down 14-10, I need a touchdown. That's when I need him. And it's howling, and the starting running back's out of the game, and we're 1st and 10 into a 20-mile-an-hour gale, and I need him to score me a touchdown. That's when I want him. 3:00.